It is official, guys. The new legislation that proposed changes to asylum system in Ireland and migration, as well as family reunification and citizenship, is has been approved by the government of Ireland. So from now on, or some of these new legislations are going to take effect from next year, 2026. But what is important is that those policy change that the Minister for Justice in Ireland have recommended and have brought forward for the government of Ireland has been officially approved yesterday, the 26th of November, 2025. It was approved officially. So let's look at some of the details of what is in this new legislation, the ones that are now confirmed. Remember, I did a video earlier to say that we will not know exactly what is expected in terms of the fate for migrant and asylum seekers in Ireland, until the government approves it and the legislation itself is published. So now we have the details in this policy change that the minister brought forward, and I want to read them out literally so that people can understand it. So if you're an asylum seeker or you know someone who's seeking asylum in Ireland, it's important that you save this video for yourself to guide you, to help you make better decisions as you stay in Ireland. So one of the key things that is in this new proposed legislation, or it's not proposed anymore, it's now approved, is that the change to this policy now will ensure that family reunification for those granted international protection status, which is refugee status, will only be granted in cases where they can be shown that they have sufficient resources to support family members. So if somebody gets a refugee status, before they can bring their family member, they have to show that they have enough money to support that family members before they'll be allowed to bring them to join them in Ireland. Another thing that is in this legislation, in this policy, is that residents of international protection accommodation, those that are in employment, are going to be paying towards their accommodation. I made a video earlier this week to explain the exact percentage that is expected of those who are living in the asylum center and are working. It's between 10 to 40%, but you can go to the previous video on my profile that I made specifically talking about the amount that people are going to be paying depending on the amount they are earning, and then you can get a full detail of what people will be paying towards their an idea amount that they'll be paying towards their rent when they are in the asylum center and they are working. The other thing in this is that there will be a power to revoke refugee status where a person is found to be a danger to the state, to the security of the state, or has been convicted of a serious crime. So even if you've been given refugee status, if you're found to have committed serious crime, that refugee status can be revoked, or it will be revoked. Okay. The other thing there is that there will be a tightening of citizenship criteria, okay, to ensure that there is a clear guidance on the application of good character requirement and the introduction of a requirement that applicants are self-sufficient. Okay. So another thing there is a residence requirement for people granted international protection to rise from 3 years to 5 years. So before now, those who get refugee status only get 3 years before they are eligible to apply for citizenship, Irish citizenship. But now that is going to increase to 5 years. So this will align with what those who are on stamp 4 years to get. You'll be people with refugee status are now expected to wait till 5 years before they will be eligible to apply for full Irish citizenship. An updated policy document will tighten the existing policy on family reunification for most non-European residents. Okay, so another thing that is going to happen here as well, that they will reduce the effective waiting period for those on general employment permit. And that is a good one, because the government is saying that they want to make sure that those who are coming to seek asylum and are seeking refuge are those who really need it, but that those who are coming for economic reason, that they will go and apply for work permit. Okay, and they want to make sure that those people who are applying for the right kind of visa, which is the work permit, if you're looking to come to Ireland to work, that they will give, they will get more advantage in order to balance it, so that the processing time for that will reduce, and also people from the age of 16 to 18 will be able to apply for that as well. So that is a really good thing. There's something else that is here, and that is in regards to those who are on the type of social welfare payment that people are not allowed to take prior to the time that they will be applying for citizenship. Okay, so if you get a refugee status, you're here and you apply under international protection, and you get your refugee status. Let's say you get your refugee, and when it's time for you to apply for citizenship, that's after the 5 years, and it's time for you to apply for citizenship. 2 years before that time that you are eligible to apply, you are not expected to be on a certain social welfare payment. So, and it's not all, but we don't know the exact type of social welfare payment that you're not expected to be on. But some certain social welfare payment, you must not be receiving any of that kind of support from the state 2 years before you are eligible to apply for Irish citizenship. So all of that is also coming into there. The minister also said that they will make sure that asylum processes, application are done and are really attended to very, very fast. So between 3 to 6 months, they expect that they would have processed people's asylum applications, so that those who are eligible to stay, they will be given their stay, their document to stay, and those who are not, they will be quickly removed from the country as well. So all of these things are the things that the minister is has proposed and now has been approved by the government of Ireland. So when in terms of the money that people will be expected to pay when they are working and they are in the asylum center, it's all going to happen next year. It's not going to happen immediately. It will take effect from next year, because they have to put all of that process together of how to collect that rent from people who are working and are living in the asylum center. So that is all that is in this at the moment. If I hear more or get more updates on these new changes that are happening in terms of immigration policies in Ireland, I will come back here and tell you. So follow me so that you can keep hearing this kind of news. Give me a like as well. Share this video for others to hear. Make sure to save it for guidance for yourself. And thank you for listening. Have a good day.